What do we do with 12 ton of riprap? Welcome to RidgeLife. I'm Tim, and today we're going to show you. Looking at the entrance to the property, we can pan down here and look at the culvert. And you can barely see a culvert right there. We got to get all of this dug out. This is all erosion, all came from our driveway. So all this gravel, all this dirt, dig out so we can see a culvert right there. We come over to the other side and we'll see if we can see what the culvert looks like over here. Now we have erosion coming down as well. Erosion right here. All that right there erodes down. And to there, you can see a culvert. There's a culvert, but it is full of all kinds of debris. So look at the tractor, get all this out, and then get the riprap moved over. On the front part of our property here, we've got this power line, and there is an underground creek that runs under the power line, and it's creating sinkholes that our tractor gets stuck in when we're out here bush hogging. So what we're going to do is take all that sediment and fill from the culvert area, bring it over with the tractor, dump it down in those holes, see if we can fill that out as well. We're not too far from the entrance to our property. Right there's the culverts we're going to be getting the dirt from before we put our riprap in. And this power line area here is the area we have not yet bush hogged, and you can see all these beautiful wildflowers, but they've got to go. We have got to get this area under the power lines bush hogged, but I've been holding off because there is that underground creek leaving giant sinkholes in this property. You come over here and you see that. Can you imagine hitting this sucker with your tractor? Oh my goodness, the bush hog, I could definitely break some stuff or get stuck or maybe flip it over, but look at how deep it is. And you can see there's the underground creek and the water is flowing. You see the water flowing right there. Just flows perpetually from our property across under this power line. There's another area the water flows through when it's raining heavily, but this right here runs pretty much constantly through this hole. If we pull out of this hole, look across the power line, we can see there's a little road going into the woods, and that's where we come out of our deer hunting. We got a little trail going through there. If we move on over, we can see that as we cross here, there are more and more of these sinkholes, and you can see the water down in there flowing again. Come back up again. Beautiful flowers, but we have to get rid of them. It is time to get this area bush hogged. But this water flows from this road. There's a creek on the other side over there, and then goes under the ground straight over and creates these sinkholes. Another area of concern is here in our S-curve. We've got a culvert that runs under the S-curve from all the drainage and runoff from the ridge itself. All the gulches and gullies run right across here, and we have got erosion taking place on either side of this culvert. We've got to get this fixed. Water runs down through the valley here, comes down to our culvert, and you can see all this trash built up. You've got erosion on either side of the culvert, and it crosses over here to this side. Erosion is not quite as bad, but we do need to get this cleaned up and get all that riprap right here, because eventually this will wash out. You see how it's already lower than the area there? And that's because as the water flows through, it creates an impression, a gully right there. But if we put the riprap there, we won't have the standing water, and hopefully not as many mosquitoes, that's for sure. Almost got stuck right here. I had to use the bucket to push myself out. Oh, check it out. Yeah, y'all seen a phone like that in a while? That's pretty old. this is something you don't want to do. This is our natural gas line to the log home. Came back out here with the tractor to get a little bit more out, and it busted. Don't do this. I went ahead and dug this side of the gas line up for the gas company. We called them, called the emergency number. They're gonna come out and splice this together. Just a low pressure gas coming out, not a main line hit. So we're gonna get out of here, leave this be, let them come back and do this. We'll move on to the culvert at the center of the property. And now we get to watch the masters do the work of what the dummy did. So you just cut out a bad section, splice the two ends of the...
Splice it in,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be just like a compression coupling. Just stab coupling, stab it together and it locks, it bites into it like a shark bite fitting. And yeah. And now it's all gone to this electrofusion. Heats it up, it's got coils in it, heats it up, melts it together.
Oh wow.
It'll be, will actually be stronger than the pipe itself.
Is that material kind of like a PEX, or is it?
Would you say it's kind of like PEX?
It's polyethylene.
Polyethylene, yeah. Okay.
Similar, but just a hair different.
It'll stretch pretty good bit.
I think the tractor can outstretch it though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
You checking behind me?
A little bit. Mainly because those mess up most people.
Yeah, the jaws feel a little funny on them.
Yeah, they're kind of odd.
They're trying to cock a little bit. Cody needs to take right there.
Something like that.
So that's putting out a low pressure through that valve, and then once it gets that back pressure, the full 50 psi should come up.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to check for leaks, see if it.
Yeah, once it levels out.
Okay. How often do those fail? I mean, you get leaks on checking it.
On those couplings, I've only ever seen one fail. And it was my fault when I put it together. I had clamped it like that, but I didn't have it all the way butted together. But that's the only one I've ever seen fail.
Yeah.
It's more of a check just cause, but
yeah.
it's the only one I've ever seen fail.
What's the yellow wire next to it?
That's our tracer wire. So if you ever call 811,
oh, that's how your sensor.
Yeah, we come out and they hook to at the meter. We'll leave a piece stubbed up, hook to it, and he can trace it all the way back to the main.
Yep. I was wondering how you found plastic in the ground. Yeah, it's your
wire.
Copper wire. Is it aluminum or copper? Or
copper.
Yeah.
14 gauge stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. Appreciate it, guys.
Oh,
no problem.
I told her I'd come up there and check the meter, make sure everything got gas.
I told them I'd rebury this since I caused them so much trouble coming out on a Sunday afternoon. I'm gonna dig a little trench under the under the hose, bury that down in there, get about 9 inches of dirt on top of that, and then we can put our riprap level with the bottom of the culvert. That's why I kind of wish it was lower than that to go 18 inches below the bottom of the culvert, but we're not going to get that. So if I can get 9 inches of dirt on it, we'll call that good, get the riprap on. You can see we got our sinkholes where the underground creek flows through, got them all filled and smoothed out. This should be just fine for the tractor and the bush hog to come through here. Now this will erode again as that water undermines the sinkholes will continue. I can't stop that unless we put a giant 40-foot long culvert in under here, or create a creek, dig it out and build a bridge. But this is the power line and we're going to let it be the way it is. Let's move on. We're not going to cut the gas line on this one. We're just going to get this debris out of there. We don't have to get farther. The problem over there is I went greater than 18 inches down, and I knew better. But when I was just trying to get that last little bit out so it get below the culvert line, because that culvert is clogged up. This one is open. My mistake, guys. Call before you dig. Call before you dig. Let's get this cleaned out. All right. Just gotta get this muck out of here, and we will get this one ready for riprap. We just have a little bit to get out on this side. I want to get a little bit on the top of the culvert and around the sides, again just below the bottom of the culvert line. That way the riprap can be even with the bottom of the culvert. The water can flow freely. I don't want to obstruct it at all. So let's get a little bit off the top here, and then off the sides, and then a little bit off the bottom, and we'll be ready to go. All right, we are ready to go with this culvert. Let's start moving some riprap. This riprap is about one size bigger than I really like for this. I'd prefer about this size for everything. We got a few of these bigger ones, gonna be just fine though. We'll stack them up again on top of the culvert on either side, and then a layer below the culvert, and then we'll reach out about 3 or 4 feet all the way around, creating a dish that'll allow debris to get caught on the rocks, filters out a lot of the sediment, and again keeps this from washing out into the culvert. I'm gonna start by stacking up on either side of this culvert here, create a little cone over it, and then we'll work our way out. some back-breaking work. Yeah, I dumped several loads of riprap in this hole, but I had to move it all around by hand to get it shaped the way I want it. I am pretty happy with how this turned out. Unfortunately, I got 3 more to go. See you soon. Ooh, doggy. 2 down, 2 more to go. To go. Four areas of riprap done. We've got all of our culverts filled in, the openings. I do have to come back on this one and use a porta power jack to open the opening up a little bit more. One of our contractors drove across it, collapsed a little bit. I'll bend that wide open, give a nice clear flow. You see a little concrete sediment that was from this riprap that came in the gravel truck. That all wash away. So I think this turned out really, really good. What I do want to remind everyone again is call before you dig. Don't make the mistake I did, ripping up your natural gas line or your power line or your phone line, high-speed internet, fiber optic. You don't want to do that, that's for sure. If you liked today's video, it was a long one. I learned a lot, but if you liked it, give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. If you haven't subscribed to RidgeLife, take the time to do so now. Guys, as always, I hope everyone has a blessed day, and go RidgeLife.